Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita and welcome. Today's video is done in partnership with Sephora, and when I tell you I have been going crazy this week on the website, I have added so much new skincare, things that I've re-upped on, a couple of new products, and we are wearing a little bit of new makeup, so I will share that with you in addition to some really hot new releases. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. All right, you guys, before we start, I do want to send a huge shout out and thank you to Sephora for partnering with me on today's video. And if you are not familiar with their Beauty Insider program, I do highly encourage you to sign up. This is a wonderful and free way to reap some benefits by shopping Sephora. So if you shop there normally anyway, there is absolutely no reason why you should be slipping on these offers. So I'm a Rouge member. I get to save like $20 with my points if I do choose to use them, you know, for cash value. I also get to take advantage of accessing the savings events a little early, but no matter your tier, there are going to be so many benefits to signing up. So I will leave that information in the description box. If you're anything like me, you really do enjoy getting free samples and deluxe samples of beauty, skincare, and fragrance. And you get to use some of those points that you've accumulated to get those types of things. So again, check the description box below for those details. Also, I will have linked below information on how to take advantage of same-day delivery and expedited shipping. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the first thing, which is skin care. Your makeup is just going to look so much better, you guys, when you are taking care of your skin. I am someone who suffered with horrible skin majority of my adult life, definitely teens, but I found that as I got into like my mid-30s, my skin just became really troublesome again, mostly because of hormonal issues. So staying on top of my skincare is just numero uno. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is the Dr. Dennis Gross daily peeling pads, and I had sampled a box of these probably a good year ago. So when I initially tried this product, I started with, I think it was like 5 in a box. It was just like, you know, you get to try it for a week, see your thoughts, because these are pricey. But when I tell you, this is going to make your skin look its absolute best. It's actually really quick and easy to use. So you start with the first part here, which is going to be the peel, and you just cover your face and it's like a little wet wipe, and then you just wait 2 minutes. Then you're going to use part 2, which is going to neutralize those chemicals. So after that, any dead skin, anything that needs to be sloughed off the face is just pretty much dissolved. It's literally like having a little chemical peel at home, and you do this daily. But my recommendation, also their recommendation, is if you're starting out with it, do it every other day until your skin can become acclimated. And this for me is just amazing because I do use Retin A at night. Retin A now, prescription tretinoin. It is not like retinols and these serums and, you know, moisturizers that you see over the counter. It's very different. They work very different, and it can leave, you know, the excess dead skin or just things that it brings to the surface of the skin. So this has been so beneficial in helping me to achieve this new beautiful healthy skin glow. And the biggest thing that I noticed, you guys, is I struggle with these lines right here in my forehead, especially when I have on makeup. Sometimes you'll see me, honey, if I am not properly internally hydrated, my makeup will crack no matter what I do. No cracks, okay? No cracks. So the second skincare item I want to touch on is from LANEIGE. You know I am a LANEIGE girly, and this is a re-up because this right here, this serum has my skin so firm, bouncy, glowing. This is just I can't live without a holy grail at this point. So this was my first bottle, and this is the Bouncy and Firm Serum. And from the moment I tried this on my skin, I was like, oh yes, all right. So this has become a staple day and night for me. So I had to get it, and I think it's really worth the price point. Next up is actually a new serum. I had kind of been sleeping on my vitamin C. Back in the day, I used to really be up on it, but I started to notice just a little bit more unevenness in my skin tone, especially being outside every day walking. Even though I'm wearing my sunscreen, sometimes, you know, the hyperpigmentation from a breakout, you see I have one right here, it can really be exacerbated just depending on your relationship with the sun pretty much. And that's something I have been experiencing. So I said I'm gonna go ahead and implement some vitamin C back into the morning routine, and I heard that the Pharmacy 10% waterless vitamin C serum is it, okay? It's tea. And so far, so good. Now the thing about this serum is it doesn't have the texture of like a regular serum. This is like an oil. This is not something something I will put on if I'm doing like this big beat down. I need things to be matte here, and this is definitely going to be something where I'm just doing, you know, a carefree day, makeup free day type of thing. But so far so good. I've only had it for a couple weeks. I just think as of late my skin has really been looking its absolute best, and so I'm really enjoying all of these new skincare products. Now the next one is also a re-up. This is the LANEIGE Water Bank, and this is going to be the cream. I have used the gel in the past, but honey, Sephora, I went on ahead and added the deluxe sample into the cart maybe like a month ago, and I used it and I said, you know what, we're going back for the full bottle. I just love the texture of this. It's super duper hydrating to the skin, and you're going to be so well moisturized without feeling sticky, greasy, none of that. All right, and if you haven't noticed, like, I am a LANEIGE girly, so anything that they have, I'm absolutely game to try. Now let's get into this new lip combo, honey. So you all know normally my red is going to be tried and true by Sephora brand Cherry Moon, and I still love that down, okay? But I did want to try something new. So today we are wearing a new lip liner, and this is by REFY. This is in the shade Sepia. I think I may have found my perfect brown. A lot of the browns, they're either a little too light or just a little too dark, and sometimes it can be problematic because I already have my own dark line, and so it's just finding the right tone that's dark enough but not too dark. Oh my god, I really think they nailed it, and word is on the street that this stays put. My first time wearing this, so we will see how it holds up throughout the day. But one thing I can say, I really did enjoy the texture of it. Very easy to apply, just creamy, not too soft, not too hard. Just a really good lip liner in my opinion. All right, so just check this one out if you have been on the hunt for that perfect brown. Again, I really think they nailed it with this particular sepia tone for me personally. Now the lip is a ever popular red. So the lip stick is going to be from Fenty Beauty. You all know I love me some Fenty lip products down, and I finally picked up the MVP. It immediately sold out when she unveiled this, what was it, the Super Bowl or something she performed years ago, and she kind of unveiled it, and it was just so hard to keep in stock when it first came out. So because I wasn't able to get it back then, I just kind of forgot about it. But I know this is so many people's top red, and I love the way this looks on me. It's not quite as much blue as the Cherry Moon, which is fine because this is going to allow me to have just a little bit more variation. What I love about this is the way that my lips feel. It's a really, really good formula, you guys. So underneath it, if you are someone who struggles with your lips just feel so dry with a matte, you have got to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip primer underneath. This will change the game, and you will be able to wear matte lippies no problem. All right, it stays put, stays in place, and this is just a really good formula. All right, so check this one out. Again, this is the liquid lip Fenty Icon in the shade MVP. Now the last beauty I want to touch on is also from Fenty Beauty. If you didn't know, I'm a Fenty stan, but this is their mascara. I was in the market for a new mascara. I had been so, like, I don't want to say I had a toxic loyalty to Born This Way's Better Than Sex mascara. It has just been my ride or die, but I have been eager to try some others because my daughter is obsessed with the YSL mascara, okay? But I was like, let me see if we can find something that's maybe just a little less. I think this came in just a couple dollars under that one, but this is the Hella Thick. It is in the shade Cause I'm Black 01, and so far so good. I wear mascara more so on a daily basis. I don't usually wear lashes. I wear lashes for y'all, okay? Maybe on a super sexy date night, but going around and about, I have very minimal makeup on, and I will wear a mascara. So a really good mascara is like critical just to my everyday beauty regimen. All right, so check this one out because so far I am loving it. I do have it on the bottom lash today so you can kind of see what it's giving, because clearly you can't see what it's giving on the top. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this new Rare from Rare Beauty. Now when I saw the notes of this fragrance, I didn't know what to expect. I knew I would like the scent more than likely, okay? I also, in addition to purchasing this, I bought 2 of the balms. So let's go ahead and get into this bottle. First of all, seeing the bottle in person, I'm still not loving it. I like it. I just feel like the texture of this, I don't know. It just feels a little cheap to me, okay? And I know at $75, honey, we are not about to get some knockdown, drag out, just super opulent presentation, but something about it just doesn't feel, I'm trying to find the words. I'm not a fan. That's what I will say. I do like the fact that you can lock it. Maybe if you're someone that just likes to throw their smaller bottles in their bag instead of decanting, I think that would be amazing to have something like this. And I do like the fact that they designed this to be, you know, used for people with dexterity issues. I don't know, you know, if Selena has those issues or what made her come up with that. But I do like it. It's so easy to spray. And if you did want to decant it, because that is the most annoying thing about decanting your fragrances, is the constant trigger pulling, and it's very tiresome, especially if you have to fill up like a 10 ml or several decants. All right, so I do like that touch. The bottle part, I'm feeling it. So let's go ahead and get into the notes. So Rare opens with notes of caramel, pink pepper, and pistachio. You have middle notes of vanilla, Nigerian ginger, cacao, and you have base notes of sandalwood, musk, and tonka bean. Now, I, again, did not know what to expect. However, you know I'm about to keep it a buck, okay? I'm going to let you know that this was such a disappointment for me personally because it smells too similar to Burberry Goddess, okay? The original. And I'm looking at the notes and I'm like, oh my goodness. They have so many of the same notes. This has the vanilla, it's got the ginger, it's got the cacao. I mean, the same scent, but I feel like this wears maybe just a little bit more transparent. You have to imagine Burberry Goddess without the lavender. And I think what we love about Burberry Goddess is that touch of lavender, ever so slight, gives it just a little bit more character. So you're taking something that a lot of people actually already find to be a little, okay, too boring, vanilla, whatever. I love the scent personally, but to make it even less complex, interesting, I was expecting something that smelled not groundbreaking, but not like a literal dupe of something that is so popular. Now I understand you get inspired by a scent that, okay, maybe Roja makes, or maybe, you know, like things that are not super mainstream and popular. I don't know what they were thinking, making something so close in scent to the original Burberry Goddess. So I think that if you're looking for something that wears with just a little bit more transparency, I think you may jam with Rare. Now keep in mind, this is $75 US, but you're only getting the 50 ml. A lot of people are just, you know, they want something at a particular price point. Now Burberry Goddess, I will say, she a little pricey, and the designers are definitely getting up there. So if you want to save your coins, I would say maybe try this one out again, where it's just a little bit more transparent. Now I do like the idea of the bombs, okay? I think this was a bit of a bright spot in this launch, and the vanilla amber, to me, I just should have saved my money on. And that is because the purpose of these bombs would be to kind of shift up the scent profile a little bit. It's almost like if you have something on the opposite end of the spectrum with the bomb and you have the perfume, you're going to get something that gives you so much variety, almost like having two perfumes without having to spend hundreds of dollars on achieving that. So I do love the idea of it. This one, it was just almost amplifying the vanilla, but this has the vanilla. So it was almost like more of the same and a little unnecessary. Now I can still use the Amber Vanilla Balm in other fragrances. Say I want to wear something like my Golden Muse. Loving this one. This is from the HARLEM Perfume Company. If I want to amplify the vanilla that's in here, because it's not super sweet, this wears on the fresher side, this would be a beautiful layering combo. So you can consider these if you're wanting something that has a base where it's absolutely going to add to longevity. If I can show you, it's literally like a primer texture, you know, like the Smashbox silicone type primers that we used to always use back in the day. They smell really lovely, but again, it's really just kind of amplifying what's already here. And I just find that this scent with this perfume was a little unnecessary for me personally. Now the woody oak one, I actually love the way this smells. You wear these, you almost get something that's given a little bit of unisex. So this is something you can share with your guy, because this is really woody. It's very well done. It smells amazing. But the problem with this is so woody and strong, it was overpowering the perfume. And maybe not so much of a problem if you're just doing it here and here. You've got so much of the perfume, you know, going on if you overspray it on your clothes, other parts of your skin. Okay, that might work. But if I'm just going right in on the skin, you know, I'm only wearing perfume like strategic pulse points points or something like that, you're that type of girl, you're not going to be able to smell the perfume enough. It really did overpower the scent, and it just kind of drowned it out. So I had to retop my skin with the perfume, and it helped a little, but this just really kept rearing its head and overpowering it to my nose. So I'm going to say, if you have Burberry Goddess, I don't think you need this. I really don't think you need it, but you be the judge. You might get something completely different. I had no idea that that is what I was going to get because I hadn't watched any reviews really. I definitely hadn't watched any like YouTube video reviews. I hadn't looked on Fragrantica. What is the consensus there? Redundant for my collection. So I was disappointed, straight up disappointed. All right, so keep that in mind when you're shopping that scent. Now, one that I absolutely loved and I have been wearing nonstop, she was here. I'm so glad Jackie gave us a rose. This is from her Forever Mood collection, and this is her 5th fragrance release. I have all 4 of the original ones. They have a permanent spot in every video now. They're right back there on my vanity, and we have to make room for the new girl. I'm going to go ahead and say I think this may be my favorite out of all 5 because, you know, first of all, I'm absolutely a rose girly, and she is giving us the best of both worlds in a really beautifully executed way. So she was here opens with notes of pomegranate and elemi. You have middle notes of Turkish rose, vanilla, pistachio, and milk, and you have base notes of amber and suede. So just reading off the notes, you're going to get something that wears, you know, just a little bit more complex than something like this, but you do get a lot of vanilla in here, and I'm so here for it. The pistachio really does smell like salted pistachio, especially as this starts to really warm up and dry down on my skin. Now, some people don't get the pistachio. I get so much pistachio in this fragrance, and I was actually pleasantly surprised because for me, typically pistachio wears very mildly. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to give you something overly nutty. It doesn't. It is really just so well blended. And I think the rose is done in a way that even if you don't like rose, you absolutely may still jam with this because you're getting so much vanilla. It's creamy, that salty, nutty vibe. You don't get a lot of suede, but there is something, you know, besides that rose that you're picking up on. It's like, okay, why does this smell sultry, sensual? It's the amber and suede base, and I just think they did a really fabulous job on this one. I cannot wait to see how this matures. Right now, I'm getting moderate wear. I feel like after 4 hours, I tend to want to top myself off because I just love the way this smells. And as you know, new releases, they do take a little time, especially something really vanilla heavy, which this one is. The other Forever Moods, they started off on that moderate range, and I would still say they wear moderately, but they smell a little bit more robust than when I first got them. So give these brand new perfumes time to settle. Same here, but just the scent profile of this, you're just going to get Burberry Goddess. I'm just going to be straight up with you about that. Like, again, I don't know what that was all about, but yeah. Okay, so now I want to get into 2 travels I picked up. Burberry Goddess, the Parfum, all right, and the Prada Paradox Radical Essence. So let's start with the Burberry Goddess. So this Parfum, I do enjoy it so much more than the Intense. The lavender was so strong. It overtook the scent. It was just something that did not smell well blended to me, and it was very harsh and scratchy and sharp, and it was, oh, I was so glad that I was just able to get a travel of that one first. So because of that experience, I said, let me not get the full bottle. Let me just be patient, start with the travel. This does smell good. I do like it, but I don't necessarily get something that smells leathery. This smells definitely like a more sultry, sexy version of Burberry Goddess for sure. You're getting all the notes that you know and love from the original one, but this almost wears like with this slightly smoky, smoldering edge. So this could absolutely be a wonderful date night version of a Burberry Goddess. I personally am just on the fence about, do I need a full bottle of this? I wasn't wowed. I didn't feel compelled to purchase a full bottle after wearing it multiple times. So as this fragrance sits, I may change my mind just depending on how it wears. Again, fresh off the press, brand new release, especially vanillas, you got to give these time to settle and do their thing. So the immediate love at first sniff, I need a full bottle, was the Paradox Radical Essence. And I was not a fan of ELG at all. When I tell you the fragrance got on my nerves, it was so cloying. I just could not. I don't know if I just tried this on a really off day, because typically for me, I love sweet fragrances, but designer sweet that is really sweet can just be too much too fast. Okay, so I never even thought to revisit it because I was so ready for that to wear off. I was almost nauseated by it. Never revisited any of the flankers because of that experience, but for some reason, I think I saw one TikTok or Instagram. I want to say it was Olivia Olfactive who just convinced me to at least try this one. And I love it. This smells so grown up. She's sweet, but she's not overly sweet. She smells refined, sexy, just, oh my God. It's almost like a candy neroli, but she's 35 and up. She's definitely a grown woman. And I didn't get that from the first one. The neroli definitely wears a touch of green. This one too has the pistachio, and I do almost pick up on something slightly salty, and it's balancing out the sweet. So even though they don't list like a salted pistachio note, that is how the pistachio wears in this fragrance. And I just think they did a beautiful job with this. The pistachio, the sandalwood, it makes it creamy. So again, just balancing out the green, the sweet, the white. It is beautiful. And I think that if you're looking for a stunning neroli, because neroli just wears a little bit more, you know, she's zhuzhed up compared to her orange blossom twin sister. Sophisticated, sweet. I need a full bottle. That's what I'm getting from the new Radical Essence. Have you tried this one? If so, please let me know your thoughts because I need it. I need it in my life. Now I am going to go back and try the Intense because so many people seem to love the Intense, and this is making me just want to kind of open the door back up to the other Prada paradoxes. So the last one I want to touch on is from the House of Five Sins, and this is In Too Deep. I know this one was selling out. It was really popular for the house, and this was actually gifted to me directly from the brand, but I do want to feature it in this video because I think that if you're in the market for a beautiful, sweet, vanilla sandalwood scent, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It's easy, grab and go, sweet vanilla, like you're in a vibe for that. This is going to wear a little different from your vanilla woods. So if you want something in the same family, like they related, but they are definitely not immediate family members, in my opinion, then check this one out. I think this is going to give you just a little bit more of that vanilla sugar vibe. And I just love the way the musk comes off in here. It's a really easy grab and go vanilla sandalwood scent. Okay, so if you're in the mood for something a little sugary and you're a vanilla girly, I think you should absolutely check it out, and it's at a great price point. So this one opens with notes of bergamot, and you have middle notes of sugar, base notes of Tahitian vanilla, Australian sandalwood, and musk. This one also gives me, I would say, moderate wear. So after about 4 hour, 5 hour, you're gonna have to top yourself off. So this one for me, I'm vibing with, and I can't wait to give it more wears because this is very new. I only opened it a couple days ago, so I will keep you updated on my thoughts, but so far, loving In Too Deep. All right, you guys, that is it for me today. A huge thank you to Sephora for partnering with me on today's video. Again, check the description box below. Sign up to become a beauty insider today and take advantage of their expedited shipping and delivery services. You guys, let me know these products that you are interested in trying. Have you tried any of these, or have you tried them and they were fails? Let me know. I'm interested either way. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It has been real. I love you all, YouTube, and I will catch you guys on the next one.